Mr. Zucker, Mr. 23, this is probably my last interview of 2020. It's a pleasure to do it with you two.
Wow. Honored.
Wow.
Very
Yeah,
honored.
I mean, talk to me about how this song kind of reflects what the year's been like. Nothing's the same. I mean, if we think 12 months ago, nothing's the same as what it was then. Jeremy, how do you kind of see this song as being a sort of mark of the moment?
I mean, well, it came sort of at what is hopefully the end of, this massive quarantining phase of the pandemic. Everyone's just in a lull. We're all, whatever sort of routine we've all fallen into has deeply consumed our lives. Me and Alexander, when we met up literally a month ago to write this song, we were both, in our own little ruts and dealing with our own sort of like weird cyclical motions that happen when you can't really leave or go out and see anyone without any sort of guilt. So yeah, the song really just felt like this sort of like things aren't the same as they used to be. And obviously they're not, but it's also just the mundanity of like the pandemic and the quarantining itself.
I mean, I look at you two as artists that make music that has a sort of timelessness to it. How do you balance doing that kind of work and at the same time, like, making music that reflects the moment? Alex, I wondered if you could speak to that.
I started having a lot more ease balancing it when I realized that I just like wasn't special at all. And like these things that I was feeling or going through that felt so singular to me just like weren't. And like when I realized like I'm not special, these things aren't just happening to me, that's when I kind of felt like I could more successfully balance those two things and transfer it into my writing.
Absolutely. Jeremy, it was interesting hearing you a minute ago talk about how you were kind of, in a bit of a rut, like I suppose a lot of us have been this year. And, heading into work with Alex and make a song kind of helped with a little bit of that. You've been in a pretty collaborative mood the last little while. I know that, the remix of Backyard Boy with Claire and obviously the other collaborative work you've done the last couple of years. Do you find that you tend to go sort of like a little bit on a little bit of an upswing in mood when you hang out with other musical folks and make music with them?
100%. You just get pushed in directions that you don't expect. And I have like this weird sort of like outlook on collaboration because I spend so much time trying to like hone in on what is really authentically me. And when I collaborate, I lose a little bit of that in exchange for bringing something new and unexpected in that I would never have found on my own. Just a lot of times with collaborating, I don't always like love the way that happens, but I'm like so open to the idea of it. And then every once in a while I'd get a collaboration that just like feels so natural and feels so right. And, that honestly only really happens with Chelsea on the stuff that we've done in this song with Alexander.
Yeah, I felt like that was the vibe. It seems to be people that are musically aligned with you and philosophically aligned with you. Alex, is that kind of the same? Were you a Jay-Z fan coming into this track? What was your kind of thoughts on Jeremy before you made an actual song together?
Oh, I was a big fan. I would even call myself a Jay-Z stan, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, going into working, we had already like been friends, but I think we're extremely similar in how we approach our own music. So I don't know if nervous is the right word, but I was just like more like curious, like, okay, like how is this going to work? We both mostly work alone and are like incredibly particular. So I think that can kind of go either one of two ways. And we just kind of got lucky and it went the right way. And we just really found something musically that we both really wanted to say and really wanted to talk about and play about.